Brought to you by
GoDaddy.com. Man up and get your $4.95.com by entering code MMANUTS.
Defense Soap. Offense wins matches. Defense keeps you on the mat.
You mentioned, I think, being frustrated at the Gil Melendez situation, and you've been in that position before where you've had to wait. How do you keep from letting that affect you this fight? And even though you're frustrated, be able to be frustrated with it, but then go out and concentrate on what you need to do outside?
Cowboys making that easy. I mean, it's a tough opponent, one of them guys you can't sleep on, you can't walk through Cowboys. One of the best in the lightweight division, so I'm really just concentrated on him and his skill set and how to beat it, and that's it. So whatever happens after the title, contention match or whatever happens, it's going to come when it comes. It's been a year off for me, so I'm excited to get some W's under my belt and keep going strong.
When did you first start thinking about him? Because I've got to assume you guys thought about each other and the potential to fight each other 3+ years ago when you were in the WEC.
Man, when I seen my debut was his main event. He fought a guy, James Krause, who I trained with. So I thought about fighting him for a long time, but it was never confirmed or negotiated or even mentioned. So for him to call me out saying, I'm scared or something like that, it's like, where the hell did this come from? I'm hurt, I can't fight. So contract signed, we're a couple days away, I'm excited to solve everything.
Do you think at the time off that fans maybe have forgotten just how flashy and exciting your fights are, or you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it. I think I always come with the same style. I don't change my style for anybody, no matter who the opponent is. If it's a wrestler or a striker, my style is the same. So they know what I'm going to do, stop it.
That's not all. I'm just being polite for everybody else.
I'm kidding. Don't you think? So now, you're fighting so close to home. What kind of extra pressures are there on you to perform, or with so many more people?
I don't think it's more pressure. I fight on pay-per-view. I have my sports bar back home, so every time my bar's filled up for my fight. So I don't think it's more pressure. It's just gonna feel more relaxing, knowing all my family's in the audience after they can celebrate my victory with me. So.
Is it more important to have the sports bar filled or have more people in the stands with you on Saturday?
This time I want the stands filled. The bar is going to take care of itself. Everybody knows that's the spot to watch the fights. But I want to be the hometown guy this time, and I want everybody to cheer for me.
What are you planning to do after your victory?
It's my birthday. It's my birthday on the 27th, so at midnight I'm going to be 26, man. So.
We share the same birthday.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm just planning on spend some time with my family. Mom's going to be up here. I got my brothers coming up. Everybody's going to be here for me.
So you're going to celebrate here in Chicago?
Yeah, for sure, man. Somewhere in Chicago. I don't know where yet.
All right, sounds good.
Obviously, emotionally, mentally, you're ready. Been off a long time. Physically, why won't ring rust be a problem?
I don't think there's ring rust when it comes to fighting. A fight's a fight. If I have to fight somebody tomorrow, I got to be ready to fight. So, this is my job. This is what I've been training for. This is what I've been doing for a long time. I kind of grew up with fighting, so I don't think ring rust is going to be a problem. I've been competing since I was 5 years old at tournaments, man. So. I feel like I just jump right back where I left off.
In that 1 year, what do you think has changed the most about your overall game?
I would say I matured a lot. I got a daughter now, so I matured a lot with my decisions outside of my training. What time I'm going to bed, what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body. I'm really matured in that aspect of my life. Once you got a daughter or a kid, they're looking up to me. Whatever I do, she's going to follow. And knowing that, I think I just matured as a man as well.
What's your daughter's name?
Aria Pettis.
How important? Spell it again.
Aria.
How important is it?
Hold on. How old is she?
She's a year and a half.
Okay.
How important is it for you to be a role model to your daughter?
Man, I picked it up from my brother. I think I'm a big role model for my brother. So I played that role when my dad died. I played that role for my brother right away. So I think I'm putting more thought into it and more emphasis on it. But it's huge for me. I want to be in her life, every day. So it's huge for me to have a big part of my daughter's life.
Being a father figure is important to you.
Yeah, father figure in her life is just making sure she stays out of the wrong place. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I don't want her to do anything that I didn't do in my life.
What fuels your passion to keep fighting?
The love for the sport. I've been doing martial arts since I was 5, and I love. I call it martial arts. It's still a martial art to me. It's become a sport. It's huge on a high level. But I was doing this before any cameras were here, man. I was kicking and punching before anybody wants to know my backstory, my interviews, anything like that. So just the love of the sport for me.
You mentioned maturity since having your daughter. Really going into really being a father, being a man in every sense of the word. How has that helped you as a fighter? How has that made you a better mixed martial artist?
Just making smart decisions. When you're young, you get some money in your account, you get a little bit of fame. It's easy to make dumb decisions, man. So now that I have a daughter, now I have all my goals to this leads to that. So everything I accomplish in the octagon is going to help her life get better, and that fuels me, man. And knowing that I can through my skills and my martial arts, I can give my daughter a great life. So that's why
Has your preparation changed at all? How you train?
Yeah. The way I eat, the way I sleep. I mean, just the way I think about the fight now. I mean, before it was like I was just me in there. I was having fun doing my thing. Now this is my job, man. This is what I'm going to be surviving on. So, a lot of changes.
So you've talked a lot about your daughter and maturity and taking care of her. If you get the fight of the night or the knockout of the night, is that going into a college fund then?
Yeah, man. We got a lot of things planned for her, man. So I want to be smart and do everything right with my money. And I mean, not only just the fight of my bonus, the opportunities that come after this. I mean, it's all of it. Everything you got to be smart about it all.
We talked on the phone a couple months ago about, perhaps the lessons learned of assuming that something you've been promised is going to be there in a few months, and what happens when it goes away. If you win Saturday, the assumption is you're the number one guy, you're next in line after the April title fight. If you have to wait until September, are you going to wait?
It's a long time, man. It's a long time. I had a year off this year. It killed me being on the sidelines looking in. I mean, the whole division's moving. People are, I mean, Cowboy won a whole bunch of fights in a row. Just if he wouldn't have lost to Diaz, I think he would have moved before me for a title shot. So, I mean, it's a long time. It's hard to tell.
You wouldn't want to wait though, potentially.
Not sure, man. I mean, I got Cowboy in the sights right now. I don't know. After this fight, see what happens, the outcome, and we'll go from there.
Do you have an ideal of how many times a year that you fight? I know this past year you haven't that often. So do you aim for a certain amount?
Well, I mean, I started professionally at 20 years old. I was fighting 3 or 4 times a year. I mean, WC, when I got my title shot, it was 5 times. I fought in December, then went right through to December 5 times. And then I came to the UFC, had to wait 6 months for the Guida fight, had to wait for Lozon, had to wait for Steven. So it's just a slow process. It's slower in the fights, but I want to fight 3 times. I mean, that's my goal. 3 times a year. I'll stay relevant, stay in shape, keep my name where it's supposed to be at.
Can you talk to us a little about that difference between WEC and UFC, the size of the crowds, the build for the fights? How does that feel?
It feels really similar. I mean, you're dealing with the same guys. You got guys like Dave Schaller here that just makes it feel like make you feel like a superstar when you're not. I mean, I was just up and coming. He made me feel like I was the man. So I mean, they do a good job at disguising it, and you're not at the top level of the UFC yet. But we just had this conversation earlier. Look at the UFC top 5, the top 4 roster. I mean, me, Henderson, Cerrone, all of us are right there at the top. So we were fighting the best in the world. It's just now we're at the big stage doing it.
Could you talk a little bit about the kind of the in-camp and the in-gym mentality when you've got several of you guys trying to peak for a fight right around the same time, and you've got Ben up there too.
Yeah,
fighting tomorrow.
It's awesome. I mean, I got Ben Askren, huge training partner for me. Helped my wrestling game tremendously. I mean, having a guy with that much skill on the mat wrestling with you got to get good at wrestling. So he fights Thursday. We got all of us fighting on the Chicago card. We have all of our lower stable guys. They're all fighting very soon. So all of us were in camp. Intensity was great. The focus was there. I mean, everybody. We all had a slow year last year, the whole Roofer Sport team, but we're coming out the gates burning this year, man. We got some fights lined up, and we're all ready to go.